Only a couple minutes late.
And well,
Yeah,
we're
I
live.
did.
Only, as
Okay.
you heard my dad say, only a couple minutes late.
All my
And
fault. My
well,
brownies
we're a
were
week.
not. My
We're
brownies were fighting me today.
technically we're a week and a couple of minutes late
Yeah, that's true.
because we did say the last Friday of every month, but that was an unavoidable happenstance that we couldn't go live on the day. And so we see
Yes.
Elizabeth has just jumped on. Welcome to the show, Elizabeth. And we're just both going to take a second and share the video. Let people know that we're live. So we're live on Facebook and YouTube. And so yeah, if you take a second, click the like button and share the video feed and comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And it's been just over a month and a week since we were live. And so let's just share the video and
Sharing,
share
liking, sharing. Share now. Okay.
There we go. So we are live. Yes, we are
Live
live
and shared.
And yes. Yeah, it's all those parts of it. Share and there. Okay. Well, Dad, welcome to the Dream Show.
Oh, why thank. Yes. I forgot we had one almost.
Yeah, almost forgot. Yes.
Yeah.
The crowd has been clamoring in the
They have said a few
in our
things.
dream
It's
group.
true.
Yeah, I've seen there's been a number of dreams, a number of questions, and I think Elizabeth asked the question, will you guys be live on February 24th or not? Because since you went live today, yes, we will be live on February 24th. So this one, we had to move this one back a week because of my travels. I was traveling last week. So, and yes, Elizabeth, we're live on YouTube. I will grab the YouTube link for anyone who is, let's see, for anyone who's looking for it on YouTube. Let me see if I can find that for people. Give me just a second.
Yes, we'll give you a
because
second.
I know some people want to see that. There, this is the link right here, and here we go. So here. Okay, there's the YouTube link for anybody that wants to share it on YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now as well. For I know that some people don't do Facebook, so there we go. So we will be live as normal from here on out. The only time that we'll change the Friday timing is if it happens to Elizabeth. This is my birthday. Oh, the 24th is her birthday, so I think I should be gifted a dream interpreted. Well, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. So we would be honored to be able to spend an hour with you on your birthday. So that'd be wonderful. So welcome everybody to the Dream Show, formerly known as Tuesday Night Dreaming. It's no longer Tuesday Night Dreaming because we don't go live on Tuesday night.
Friday mornings, yes.
It's on Friday mornings, yeah.
We started it as Friday night dreaming, didn't we?
Yeah, it was Friday nights dreaming. Yeah, Friday night dreaming. Hot Friday nights.
Yeah, because everybody was hanging at home from COVID. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So now we've got people tuning in, like we have Lean tuning in. We have people tuning in from various different countries, different time zones. So going live at this time, which is 11 Eastern, 8 a.m., 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, makes it more available for people around the world. So, I don't know that you can find a time that's perfectly available for everybody, but I know this time makes it a little more doable for some of our people in the European and further over time zones. So wonderful. We got Arthur Hernandez tuning in from Hawaii. Wonderful. Lynn can't figure out how to put a dream in. Lynn, you could just we see your dream there in the comments. So your dream is is there. And man, people are posting the dreams. So if you have questions as well, you can post your questions about dreams, dream interpretation. So just for those that are new to tuning in, this is the Dream Show, where we talk about the mysteries that occur to us in the night season. It truly is. Dreams are truly a mystery. And what this random assortment of images presented to us that can have deep and profound meaning that unlocks who we are and who we're becoming. And I was recently giving a talk on dream interpretation in another country, and interpreted dreams of people from a totally different culture. Probably interpreted probably about 20, 25 dreams on a Sunday morning. And it was profoundly impactful, and also incredible to see that the way God speaks is not relegated to one culture. It is cross-cultural, for in the sense of church, quote unquote, membership, cross-denominational, based on the person that you are. Some of the imagery is going to be different because one person has experienced life one way, another person experiences life another way. But in terms of the principles of the mystery of who we are and who we're becoming being unraveled in a dream, or revealed in a dream, it doesn't matter if you're in Timbuktu, or if you are in Siberia, or if you are down in sunny Florida with my dad. It doesn't really matter. Or you could be here where we have temperatures that are predicted to be maybe as cold as minus 40 Celsius, which is minus 40 is actually where Celsius and Fahrenheit meet. So minus 40 Celsius is minus 40 Fahrenheit. So we're supposed to have we're in for a really cold next couple of days. And so the dreams don't stop, even if that's the case. And so our aim is to help you, the listener, the active participant, help you to understand the nature of working through a dream. Not just that we would interpret a bunch of dreams, but that we'd help you come to grips with, how do I pull my dream apart? Nothing makes me happier. Well, I shouldn't say nothing makes me happier, but one of the things that makes me happy is when I see some of you that have followed along for a decent length of time. Our Annette Garrison, I see Elizabeth Premla, who's on here, who's done some of her own dream training as well. Lynn, who's been around, Berta, Karen, Gally, and Renee. When I see you talking about your dreams online and going, I think I know what this means, and then offering some ideas about what it means and going, yes, people are grasping it. And because our goal isn't to simply interpret your dream, but it's to help you come to grips with how that one day we won't be here. Maybe the internet will be taken away. Maybe the apocalypse will happen. Maybe the zombies will infest everything. So we won't be able to go live, whatever circumstances. And, you'll be able to interpret your dreams because of the time we spent together. And so that's our hope, and that's our goal, is that we'd help you come to grips with that. So that the deal is, post your dream in the comments, post your questions in the comments. We'll do as many as we can. We'll talk through the principles and we'll interpret your dream. And so that's a welcome to the Dream Show. So if you can take a second and like it and share the video, that would be wonderful. And I'll repeat this. I said this right at the top of the show, but I don't know that anybody was on yet. Why don't you comment and let us know where you're tuning in from? I don't think I saw a bunch of those coming in.
Well, let's get started, though.
Yeah, let's do it. We've got an hour, so let's get started. As some of you may hear, I've got a bit of congestion. I just came back from a 28-hour travel day. That's more than a day. And so while I'm feeling pretty good, I've got a bit of an allergy thing going on. So, but I am feeling pretty good. So it's wonderful to be back. So go ahead.
All right. We have Lynn's dream here. She said, I prayed before going to sleep over the many people I know that are sick or hurting. Then I had this dream, and she rarely dreams.
Okay.
So we'll talk about the rarely dreams thing part too, but
yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I was actually thinking about talking about that anyway. So It's fortunate that
So in the dream, she says, I'm wandering through a hospital, either visiting or looking for several people. I leave and it's pouring rain. I go to get in my car that is parked on the top floor of the garage, but feels and sounds like thunder rolling starts happening, and I feel it in the car. I hear over the hospital intercom, if this isn't thunder rolling, this is the big one, and then it starts shaking really hard. The parking garage starts buckling and crumbling. It's an earthquake. I hold on to the steering wheel and say something like, Here we go, Jesus, oh Jesus, over again. The shaking stops. I'm on top of the rubble. I wake up with a start and fear dread. She said she fell back asleep, woke up with an uneasy, familiar feeling of fear. It's a very vivid dream and very real dream. It felt like a warning because of the fear that she felt.
right.
So
Wow.
so let's talk first about. So she wakes up feeling fear. Do you think that says that it's a fear dream, or that that's the outcome of a warning? What do you think?
I don't.
Because if we just have fear dreams, they're scary. But this one doesn't seem like it's.
No, it's not a fear dream. Like
yeah.
a fear dream is you dream the thing you fear, and the whole dream is laced with fear or anxiety, something like that. And the purpose of that dream is either to reveal the fear or to entice you to agree with the fear, to get you to fear even more. I think there's a psalm. I think it's Psalm, I want to say around 56, 40 something. I can't remember exactly which one, but it says, they feared a great fear where there was no fear. So if the enemy can get you to fear a great fear where there is no fear, he has done a pretty good job there. That's in a way, the fear is in one sense what transpired at the fall, right? Has the Lord really said this to you? Has God really said this to you? Will this really happen? Right? That's playing on fears and insecurities, weaknesses, this kind of stuff. And so the tactics never changed. And a fear dream, it either, the Lord allows it to happen to reveal the fear, because then we can come out of agreement with the fear. I fear, for instance, very simple example, when my wife and I first started dating, before we were married or anything, it was just first couple weeks were boyfriend, girlfriend. I remember having a dream where she got into a car and drove away, and she left me. And I could hear the car from 10 miles away, 20 miles away. Anyway, it's one of the distinct things. I could hear the car from a long ways away.
Okay.
And I was hurt. I was depressed. I was sad. I was alone. I was rejected. Right. And I realized when I woke up that this was a dream that showed me a fear I had, a fear of being hurt, a fear of being abandoned, a fear of being rejected. And now I could have woken up from that dream and said, oh no, I need to protect myself because I can't let myself get hurt. Or I can wake up from that dream and go, oh, I've got a root of insecurity that the Lord wants to heal. Same dream, depending on how I approach the dream, different outcome. And so the fear dream either reveals the dream or entices you to partner with the fear or agree with the fear and let it go even deeper. So this dream, however, the only thing that brings fear is the very end of the dream, not during the dream. And it's interesting that she starts by praying over all the people she knows that are sick and hurting.
Before she even goes to sleep. Yes.
Yeah. And then in the dream, she's in a hospital. And so, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And so a fear like what happened is, it's almost a fear of the Lord thing.
She does live in Los Angeles, so an earthquake would be
an earthquake is a possibility. Yeah. So, yeah. And Lynn said she struggles with fear and anxiety. I just saw that.
Yeah.
So and that's something that can play into that. And so yes. So anyway,
quick question on this. She says, Lynn, I'm wandering through a hospital, either visiting or looking for several people. Did you ever find them?
That's a good question. Lynn, did you did you ever find the people that you were visiting or looking for? And I'm assuming since she's visiting. Oh no, she
No.
didn't find them. Yeah, she
All right.
didn't find them. So, but just to, because recapping the dream can be really helpful to get it kind of, because there's essentially three kind of main components to this dream.
Yeah.
The first main component is that she's in the hospital wandering, looking for hurting or sick people, which is really a reflection on a hospital is a place of healing. So there's a clear connection to what she was doing right before she went to bed. She's offering up prayers. So she's bringing her petitions to the hospital to see about people that need to be, there's a very clear connection there, right? So she's wandering through the hospital looking for people that need healing. And then the second part of it is the thunder that comes through, this profound significant thing that happens, right? There's that. And then the third thing is the parking garage falling apart. And so those are kind of the three main events that transpire in this stream. And it's not until it sounds to me like it's the very end, it's like, oh man, she wakes with a start, and there's like dread or fear of what. And Lynn, could you describe what was the fear pointed towards? Was it pointed towards what had just transpired, like that whole parking garage is falling apart? Was it because you were fine at the end of the dream? It fell apart.
Yeah,
And
because
you're on top of the rubble.
everything fell apart, but she's on top of the
Yeah.
rubble. Yeah.
Yes.
She's on top of it.
Yeah. So what was the fear pointed towards? Was it just a general fear? And hey, Randy, great to see you. You have a blessed day as well. Been a while since Randy and I have been able to hang out. Maybe sometime in the next few months we'll be able to see each other. So where was the fear pointed towards? Was it just a general feeling of unease, or did you feel fearful in the dream? Okay, like what's next? Like, oh, if that happened, what's going to happen next? So was the fear in the dream, or was the fear upon waking up? And
yeah. She doesn't seem to have the fear in the dream. It looks like she wakes up and wow, that was overwhelming, sort of a thing, is what I'm reading here. But she can clarify that.
Yes, that's and I have a couple thoughts that I kind of want to dig in, but Dad, why don't
go
let's
ahead.
see.
Go ahead.
Well, I wonder, Lynn, is there you think it was both?
Okay.
Is there in your life, is there a desire, maybe even an intense desire to pray for the sick, to see healing happen, all that kind of stuff, but also a fear of stepping out in faith that would be required to do something like that? So I wonder, just looking at the dream, if there's a deep desire to see healing happen, to lay hands on the sick and see them walk and see them be healed, but a fear. Yeah. So Lynn says yes. So both of those exist. That was kind of my thought about it's like, I want to see it happen, but oh no, what about the moment when I'd actually have to do it, right? There's a great desire, but the anxiety over the moment, right? Yeah, and because the three kind of movements are wandering through the hospital, this great peal of thunder, and then everything shakes.
Everything falls apart.
Everything falls apart. Yeah. Well, what falls apart is the parking garage.
Right.
The parking garage is where you keep your car when it doesn't move forward, right?
Yep.
So, and I wonder, Lynn, is your car still in the garage? Are you on top of the rubble in your car? I think she says she gets in her car. Yeah, she goes to get in the car.
Doesn't really say that, but she holds on to the steering wheel, but she never says she gets out of the car. She's just on top of the rubble.
Yeah. She's just yeah, exactly. I think
I was out of the car, and
yeah. Katie, cars to me have always represented ministry. They generally do. Yeah, they represent the thing that you do. Well, she's still in the car. So yeah, the car's still there. So we don't what in terms of the language is important when we say a car represents ministry. It does, but I want to be careful with the language, because then we go, well, it means um, a paid position at a church or at a some kind of nonprofit or something like that. But cars represent what we do on a daily basis, and that's always a ministry unto the Lord. And so that's what we have to understand, that it's a little bit more than just, because sometimes we compartmentalize the ministry thing, right? We're like, well, the ministry thing is the thing I do when I'm at church or when I'm spiritual. But it is what you do because of who you are, and everywhere you go, you do it. So I could be in a plane ride talking to a random stranger, but ministering unto him and unto the Lord, because it's part of my life to be me with that person, present, listen, and engaging. So anyway, it's just some of the language we use, which is great, Katie. I didn't think we were on a different page. But just saying, let's sometimes the language we use bad language and it doesn't communicate what we mean. So, and Lynn says, I'm moving into this. Who am I and what do I do?
Who I am and what I do.
Yeah. And Susan says, could the garage be a place to store stuff?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Huh?
Yeah, but it's not, because it's a parking garage, right?
Right.
It's not a place you store stuff. It's a place you park to go do other things, to keep your car kind of safe and protected and out of the way, so that, when you decide to get up and go, you can get back in your car. So here's the thing. By the end of the dream, the place where the car would stay is totally crumbled. You can't park the car anymore there.
No.
Right now, the car, in order to get anywhere, has to move. So what's happened in this dream is there's a heart, right? She's visiting the sick in the hospital. So there's a heart to be with the sick people, right? When she's in that place, right? Because she's at the parking garage still, which is connected to the hospital. When she's in that place, she hasn't quite found what it is, right? Because she's looking for the people, but she hasn't found it yet. When she's in that place, she hears thunder that shakes her and rattles everything.
Yep.
Right. Do you know what thunder, Dad? Help us with what thunder is compared to in our holy texts.
The voice of God.
The voice of God.
Let me say that differently.
Yes.
The voice of God.
Some said it thundered.
Yep.
Okay. So as Lynn, the dream means something like this. As Lynn is doing this thing about, engaging with people that are hurting and people that are sick, people that need healing, God is impacting her, right? That's what thunder does. It impacts us, right? It's not, there's no clear direction given, but from this place of gaining a desire to see the sick and the hurting healed, God is impacting Lynn, and she won't be able to stay where she's been before. And there's a bit of anxiety about moving into that. And, there's a bit of anxiety about moving into that, like, oh no, what's it going to look like? Because she goes, what's next? But God is shaking things up because of your great desire to see him move. God's shaking things up to get you out of what's been normal, where you've been parked for a while, but God's going, it's time to move forward. So does that make sense, Lynn and Dad? Do you have anything to add to that?
I think that's good.
Yeah. In a way, it's a calling dream, but it reveals that there's a fear also attached with the calling. So let's bring that viewpoint up, Dad, and I can get you nice and centered on the camera there. So it is a good dream. And
yes,
the fact that she feels fear at the very end gives us an indication that this isn't a fear dream, because I'm trying to find my place with the sick and hurting people. And in trying to find my place, I encounter something dramatic that changes me. And everything that I thought about what I was doing is now starting to change. And that's a good thing. So, and the end of the dream really is, you're fine. Like it's all going to turn out okay in this readjustment process. Is you're on top of the rubble. You're not crushed under the rubble, this readjustment period. but you're on top of the rubble. And so it's a great dream in the sense that it reveals to you a heart to bring healing to people, and it also helps to address, well, there's a fear that a fear of moving forward, and God's going, oh, don't worry about that. I'm going to take care of it. You're not going to be able to stay where you were as you encounter me. Because and this is a great transition to bring up this awesome book that I wrote, Transformation, which you can find on Amazon or our website. Transformation: Catching a Glimpse of the Beauty of God. Because realistically, because in the dream, Lynn feels the fear, but a dramatic encounter starts to change everything. So the whole point of the book Transformation, which everybody should get, the whole point of the book,
and that we will be doing a book discussion.
We're going to be doing a book discussion soon on that. There's details for that coming out for sure. So we're going to be doing a book discussion. So Transformation, catching a glimpse of the beauty of God. Transformation begins in catching a glimpse of his beauty. This is one of the things I say in the book. It's sustained by catching a glimpse of his beauty, and it ends, our ultimate destination is catching a glimpse of his beauty. So in this dream, Lynn has begun to catch a glimpse of his beauty. That's the thunder. And it's shaken her to her core, and everything's beginning to change. And so Lynn, continue to look to the beauty of God, which is his love, his adoration, his affection, all these things. Continue to look, and you'll see you'll see the fear transformed, because desire will take hold. So that's my encouragement to you, Lynn. So good. Great. Love people are giving people are giving some good feedback about the dream. Right. And I love Karen's prayer right there for sure. Yep. This one here, before we get to that, Lord, would you reveal yourself in a greater way and transform her to her destiny? That's a wonderful, wonderful prayer. So Lynn, you could take that and just, God, transform me that I might enter into my destiny. That's a great short dream to just sit on before the Lord, before the Lord.
All right, now I'm taking back over again. All right. Deborah had this dream where her husband was driving, and we went head on into a semi truck. The truck swallowed us up. I remember before I woke up, I said, Lord, am I dead? I didn't feel any pain at all.
And so was it like a head-on collision, or was it like we were going to hit them, and then you got swallowed, like you became one with the truck? Is that kind of what Deborah means there?
Yes.
That's what. Yes. So okay. rather than the accident, the calamitous accident, you end up like with the truck, one with the truck. Okay. Oh, awesome. That's actually a good dream.
Yeah.
So yes, and I love the analogy there, right? So the husband's driving, mm-hmm. and a spouse oftentimes represents our walk with the Lord. The one that you're intimately covenanted with and in deep relationship with. And I mean, it can also represent your spouse, and it can represent that on multiple levels. For Deborah, it depends on, is she involved? Is she involved with her husband in some of the kind of the assignments that they walk in before the Lord? Because in the dream, it looks like something, you're going to collide with something someone else is doing. That's the semi-truck. Semi-truck delivers goods it takes resources to people. So, in a way, it's kind of an organization or a group of people that tend to bring resources to others, that tend to bring equipping to others. It looks like the things that you're doing and the things that they're doing are, they're at odds against each other. Yeah. And because there's, oh my goodness, we're going to collide, and there's going to be a disaster that, people are going to get taken out, people are going to get hurt. But in the point of collision, supernaturally, what you're doing and what this other group is doing actually mirrors each other. that's
Yeah, 'cause
only
they're going in different directions toward each other.
going in
rather
different
than coming
directions
in
towards
from the
each
back.
other.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's only something God can do. So
Right.
where it seems like there's been opposition in people that are equipping others and bringing resources to others, God's showing you that you actually He's going to do a work to make it so that you guys are working in cooperation with others that are doing equipping and bringing resources to
And it's
people.
going to increase what you do.
And it'll increase. Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Because it's a
Exactly.
semi truck. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it won't be a painful process.
Right.
Because I didn't feel any pain at all. And yeah, so it looks like what we're doing is it's just going to end in disaster, but actually it ends up partnering us with others. And so we'll see ourselves doing what others are doing. So walking with others more in a more direct way. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's good.
very good. It's a good dream.
All right. Let's jump to this one.
All right, Premla.
So I'll just say real quickly, I read through this dream, Premla. And I'll
Deborah,
say
I just stepped out in ministry at my church. Yeah, exactly. Wonderful. Yeah. Looked like, oh, man, I don't know if we're ready for this, right? Yeah.
I'm going to give you my thoughts on this one, and then we'll read the dream.
On Premla's dream, you're going to give thoughts?
Yes, I am.
Right.
So
Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Here, let's do this way. Let's subvert all expectations, mess everybody up. I'll read the dream, and you give thoughts. Look at that, right?
Okay, let's do that.
Crazy today.
Okay.
All right. Man, imagine that.
2 wild and crazy guys.
2 wild and crazy guys. That's right. That dates you and me a little bit. Yeah, that's right. Okay, dream. Actually, before we do Premla's dream, we're gonna get to Premla's dream. I just remembered. Remember Lynn's dream? We said we briefly talk about. She says, I don't dream often.
Yeah.
Why don't we touch that really quick so we don't forget it, and then we're gonna do Premla's dream. So we can leave Premla's dream up here.
Okay.
So I don't dream often. There's reasons for that. The first reason, and these aren't in order of importance, but the first reason is some people are gifted in a way, they're created in a way where they dream often, and some aren't. My wife dreams maybe 12 to 15 to 30 times a year, we'll say. Maybe even less than that. She maybe once or twice a month she dreams. I think you're the same, Dad. You don't dream all that often.
No.
You dream.
Not that I don't remember. I mean, I'm
not that
aware
you
of my dreams, but I don't
yes.
remember them.
Physiologically, based on brain science, you dream every single night. Everybody does. But some people remember them all the time, some don't. So Aaron dreams maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. Same with my dad. I go in and out of intense dreaming seasons, but at one point we compared my Aaron with a good friend of ours who's involved in this kind of ministry, dream interpretation, and my own dream life. And Aaron had dreamt about 15 times in the last year. Our friend had dreamt, I want to say about 50 times, 30 to 50 times. It was something like that. And I had dreamt about 300 times. And so because we're just looking at the dreams that we'd written down. So, that's not a reflection on importance for any person about dreams. It's not that my wife puts less importance than I do, or our friend puts less. If anything, our friend puts more importance on dreams than we do. It's one of the people that I know that takes it as seriously as anybody. And it's just that we're different. So some people dream more, some people dream less. So that's the first thing is you don't go, well, okay, I'm not dreaming as much. That means I'm not as good as this person. So that's the first thing. Right. The second thing is the kind of sleep cycle that we have can impact our dreams. True. So if you have a very chaotic sleep cycle, that can make it more difficult to remember your dreams. You're doing shift work, that kind of stuff. And a third thing is our culture has stolen the relevance of dreams. So we don't actually think they're important. So we don't pay attention to them. So we just don't give them a place in our lives. It's the old example, the age-old example of you get a car and all of a sudden you realize that everybody's
got that same car. Right? That's right. And
yeah,
dang if they don't have the same color too.
Exactly. It's not like everybody went out and copied you. It's just now that you have that, you start to notice it in other places as well. Right. So once you start paying attention to something, you start to notice it more often. That's part of the issue with the cultural relevance of dreams. I know I just came back from a very long, fruitful, and busy trip. And we'll probably send an email out with some updates on that. So if people are be at our church on Sunday, I'll talk about that. We won't live stream it, but you can sign up for our email list if you want to know more about the trip I was just on. And I barely dreamt at all because I was exhausted the whole time. I remember having one dream in about 2 weeks, and it was bone tired. I was so busy. And so that level of exhaustion means I tend to not dream as much. And so that can be it as well. So there's various different reasons why you might dream more or less. Tips for dreaming more: pay attention to your dreams.
Number one, right? Yeah.
Record your dreams, start writing them
even
down.
even if it's just fragments to begin with.
Even just fragments, yeah, just record the dream. Actually, one of the dreams, the one dream I remember I had while I was gone, I just dreamt of a Q-tip. That's all I saw. And when I woke up, I realized, oh, the assignment for today is to clean up people's hearing, because that's what I would look at as a Q-tip. I'm going to help people remove the blockages from hearing God in a more direct manner. And so that one dream actually was very helpful. But so it was just a snippet, right? It was just a thing of Q-tips. That's it. And I was so tired, I woke up going, did I actually see Q-tips, or did I dream about Q-tips? Anyway, so yeah, write them down, then think about them, pray about them, show up to the dream show on the last Friday of the month with them, right? Put some level of importance into them, and you'll see yourself start to increase in that. So anyway, that's that. So Premla's dream.
All right. So wait, no, we're going to do this backwards. I'm going to say what it means, and you're going to read it.
Okay, well, let's do that. We'll subvert expectations.
Yes. So, Premla, some of the old things in your family that are issues are finally getting dealt with completely. Now, go ahead.
Okay. In the dream, my older aunt, my mom, and my aunt were there. We received news that my grandmother passed away. In the natural, my grandmother passed away a long time ago. Back to the dream. My mom said to my aunt that they can get the body ready and bring it back to my grandmother's house for the funeral proceedings. That was the dream. Yeah, okay, exactly. Yeah. So family you say it again. How you said that, Dad?
Old things, patterns, etc., in the family that were never really resolved completely the way that they should have been. The time is now that they're getting taken care of.
Yeah, because the funeral is grieving and letting go.
Yes.
And so they've been sitting around and gathering dust, but they're starting to be resolved. Yeah. That's
it's all generational. 3 generations.
That's what the grandmother represents, is generational patterns. And they've died, but it's time to let them go. Yeah. And so those things are, as my dad said, those things are being released or being processed now. And you have in the dream also, it tells us about generational things, because you have 3 generations represented: the grandmother, the older aunt and the younger aunt, and the mom and the dreamer, right? You could even maybe say 4 generations. But the aunt, because of the older aunt and the younger aunt, kind of gives you that span of age years, but distinctly 3 generations for sure are represented in the dream. So yeah, it tells you generational patterns are dying, and for the context, it's because it's the dreamer and her mom, and both of her moms. I'm going to guess it's both her mom's siblings, right? The sisters, not aunts from her father's side. Because of that it generally stems from things on the mother's side, and it's going to specifically impact those 2 generations.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good dream. It's a heads up.
Absolutely.
Hey, this is the season you're in. Pay attention and enjoy.
Yeah. Let's do just quickly Sushil Yadav. Sushil's dream. We met in Goa recently, and I'll just put this up. I've got my nerdy tourist shirt on. Goa Beach, right? Got that when I was in Goa. And so Sushil says we met, and Sushil had a vision, saw a boy with a red t-shirt
There it is. Yeah.
right? There's the
Number
red t-shirt
23.
and the number 23 written on it. Can you
Yeah.
please tell me the significance of this vision? Well, if Sushil is still watching, the question I have with that is, did you know the boy? Or was the boy familiar to you? And that's so. If Sushil's still around, please let us know. Do you know? Did you know the boy or not? And that could change. Give us something. It won't change really the meaning of the dream, but it'll give us context for who the dream's pointing to. Is it pointing to a specific person, or is it pointing to the younger generation? And the basic meaning is going to be anointed for worship. That's the red and the number 23. You're seeing people that are anointed for worship. The younger generation, or this person in particular, is anointed for worship. And so the red being the color of anointing, and the number 23 being a reference to Psalm 23. Or you're seeing a vision of Michael Jordan when he was younger.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, but that there's a vision like that would be to pray for either that individual or pray for the younger generation. So if you knew the individual, then perhaps that individual,
and help them get to the place that they're going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see,
I mean, you see this for a reason. Not everybody sees it. So therefore,
exactly. Yeah.
You're seeing this. It means pay attention to those that you see in this area, and if you have, give some of the fruit of your wisdom and insight to those people.
Yeah,
to help them along.
That's right.
We're going to stay with Goa for a second.
Sean, oh, wonderful. Great to see Sean. Yeah.
Been expecting dreams as a family. The girls have been getting dreams, but wake up with the experience a scary presence. How can they channel their dreams to God? Very good question, and a very common question, by the way.
Yeah. So I'll give a little bit of context for Sean for the question. I met Sean recently. He's a fantastic guy, and I want my dad to answer this one because I think you'll have some really good insight, Dad.
Okay.
And I can add too. So Sean, when he says girls, he's in just a very vague sense. He's helping. When he means girls, are not so much young girls that are having nightmares. These are girls that he's brought into his family and have experienced deep trauma. And so and they live in his with him and his wife. So girls that are in his household that experience deep trauma. So they wake up experiencing a scary presence. How can they help to reorient their focus to God? So Dad, what would you have to say about that? People that have experienced deep trauma, very painful situations, they've been subject of different forms of abuse, and it's impacting their dream life. And how do they go about dealing with that?
And just so people can see, do you see how much that little bit of information changes the way that you see that dream?
Yeah, for sure.
Because if it was young girls waking up with a scary presence when they're dreaming, we would train them to.
We had that with Savannah, our youngest daughter, for a while.
We would help them to see what forces, what things were around trying to
the nature of the spiritual life.
We're going to teach them to look at the spiritual realm in new ways and be their parent.
We used to say to Savannah when she was 4, okay, let's look towards the bigger light, not look towards the fear, look towards the bigger light. Jesus is the great light, look towards the bigger light. So simple things like that.
Right. But when you're looking at trauma, especially deep-rooted trauma that has shifted how you are a person and how you're a human being in this world, it has an impact on you. That causes you to not see the world the way that you really should be seeing the world. When I say that, it is trauma, like it shuts down parts of us. We protect those parts so that they aren't more damaged. And so there's a piece of us we set aside over here that we don't look at. We stay away from it. We try to protect it and keep it safe, and then live our life over here in a smaller fashion than we really are humanly. So we've made ourselves smaller because we've taken pieces out of ourselves, if you can understand what I'm saying, to protect them over here. And now all that's left of me is this more limited version, because somebody has damaged so much of who I really am, the beauty of me, that I don't want to lose it, so I protect it.
Remember, Dad, just for context, you told me about an experience you had a number of years. You don't have to go into all the details of it. Aaron has had these kind of experiences too, where it was a dream or a vision you had where you were in your old house and there was a point where you were walking and you couldn't move forward. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Like you were young.
Remember this? Yes.
What's that? Yeah, I remember you sharing it with me and you telling me about it, and it kind of brought up the fact that there were some hurt aspects, things that had happened. Not that you weren't aware of them, but just another layer of things that happened to you when you were young, the dynamic in your family and your upbringing that had hindered your ability to move forward.
Sure.
And
so you
anyway,
remember that one better than I do. That's good.
I learned something about my dad. It stood out to me. I remember Aaron having a dream where a portion of her died when she was 9, and that's when her parents' divorce was finalized.
Right.
And the dream was an invitation to healing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, these events that happen to us, they are limiting events. That's what trauma does. It limits us. Anyway. So if your dreamers are experiencing a scary presence, that means the things that they have tried to protect over here, the things that have pain associated with them, they've tried to keep the pain away, but also protect the parts that are being attacked by that pain.
Yeah.
That is waking up in their dreams, and it's being addressed. And so the best way to approach that is to say,
and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, because there's a healer that comes to our dreams, and praying over their dreams, first of all, every day, every night, would be the helpful thing. Inviting Jesus into the dream cycle, so that the healer is actually in the dream.
Write out a short dream, or write out a short prayer that's like, asking Jesus to be part of my dreams. I bless myself with his presence, that I might dream of his goodness and his beauty, and I might find healing in his presence. Just a really simple prayer that the person can say over themselves, and that you can just lay hands on and say that.
Yeah, and they'll begin to experience some sort of healing. That doesn't mean that the scary stuff will fully go away, because it's part of what's embedded inside them at the moment, and that needs to find some healing. And if they can begin to find healing through dreams, which is a very significant way to have it,
for sure,
they can at least move forward in parts of their life, which would be really a beautiful thing. So teaching them to pray over that, and then of course just an atmosphere of prayer, which I'm sure you already have in the whole house, helps as well. So
yeah, that's right.
It is about healing. It's really the bottom line. But there are things that are not pleasant. Not just, there are things that we've experienced that are both from humans, but are driven by things that are more than human.
Yeah.
So there's forces. Paul talks about it. He uses all kinds of different language for it. So we don't want to say it's demons, because we don't know that it's some sort of a demon. It might be, but there are powers and principalities that Paul talks about that expand that whole way of viewing things. I suggest looking at Michael Heiser's view of the unseen realm, and realize that there's a lot more at play.
Which is a book. That's a book called The Unseen Realm by an author named Michael Heiser, Heiser. Karen had some good advice. I would sing "Jesus Loves Me." I love
that's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And some of the girls would be good to
simple things. The simpler, the better. Yeah, because you can remember what's simple.
Yeah, exactly. And Sean, let's stay in touch, and maybe we can connect and talk a little more intentionally about that in the coming weeks. So what that might look like, and give you some more useful tips. So Yep.
Let's see what else. Where are we at? Oh, we got a few more minutes. We can.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find a short one here. Give me a second here. Oh,
while you're doing that,
isn't it interesting?
While you're doing that, okay.
Yeah.
We have upcoming. Before I forget this, we have upcoming. Not next week, but the following week. We are starting. It's Wednesdays. What time is it on Wednesdays? That's a good question, isn't it? We have a new live course coming up that you can register for. And I know a number of people have already registered for it. Super exciting. It's coming up February 15th, starting that Wednesday for 6 weeks. And the time will be 12 noon Pacific or 3 Eastern is when we'll be running these sessions. And we are doing, it's called Engaging Revelation Prophetic Mentorship. And so we're going to do a deep dive into the nature of prophecy. We've talked a lot. So many of you have taken our course on hearing God, or you've taken other courses on hearing the voice of God, good courses on hearing the voice of God, whether that's in the context of Streams Ministries. I know lots of people have taken like Mark Verkler's stuff on hearing God's voice, and he's got some great stuff on that, and all kinds of different, there's all kinds of resources out there. So that this course we're talking about, Engaging Revelation Prophetic Mentorship. People that are generally familiar with prophetic ministry on some level, with the concept of hearing God's voice, who've had some training maybe, or some familiarity with it, involved in ministry teams, maybe prayer teams, or just have been impacted by prophetic ministry and want to go deeper. This course would be for you. And so we'll have lots of pulling apart in the sense of teaching sessions on how to think more deeply about the nature of prophecy, how prophecy is simply put a reflection of the characteristic of God's omniscience and God's omnipresence. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. Susan, I will put the link in. And actually I have the link right here. And then we will have lots of hands-on exercises together. There'll be some reading. It'll hit all the points that, if you're looking to go a little bit deeper, understanding the nature of prophecy. One of the things I love doing in these contexts is, as a group, we'll do an exercise where one person might be the focal point of the exercise, and everybody's giving words to that one person. They're giving encouraging words, and we'll pause after. And Dad, you've seen me do this. Pausing after, and you've done this yourself, pausing after the encouraging word that they've given, the prophetic word they've given, and coaching people through taking things a little deeper and understanding. Actually, part of what limits our capacity to engage with revelation is that we don't understand how to ask the right questions and pull apart deeper meaning. And when it comes to, well, I saw this picture for you. Sometimes people stay at the picture, but just see, even with just the simple dream that Premla shared, that there's a lot to that. There's a richness to the simple picture of, my grandmother passed away, my aunts and my mom and I were getting ready for the funeral. Simple, right? But there's intense, deep meaning when you start to learn how to pull apart the kind of things that you see and engage with. So the whole concept of this course is teaching you what it means to engage with revelation, to go deeper with revelation, and to see what it means to bring that to others. And so it's taking the concepts in a Hearing God course, whether it's one that we've done or one you've attended otherwise, and pulling that apart and going deeper. And so that's six Wednesdays starting next week. You can see the link right there. We will be recording each session and making each session available to those who have registered. So if you miss a session, there will be you'll be able to revisit that session. And but if you miss a session, of course, you won't be able to be part of the exercises. You'll be able to watch the exercises and get the feedback and see.
And the exercises will be excellent. So
the exercises will be excellent. So that's there. So and with all these things as well, if the cost is a barrier to you, financially, just reach out to us. and let us know, and we'll do what we can. Sometimes people cover the cost of others. We have scholarships. Sometimes we just, out of the generosity of our goodwill, we say, just come, because I never want the cost of something to be a barrier to someone's passion for training. And but with that said, the cost does really help put food on the table and run the ministry and fund the projects that we have and all that stuff. So there's that as well. But again, to reach out to us, let us know if the cost is a barrier, and especially for those of you, some of the people that follow that. They may make a good income in a foreign country, but that good income is not the same as an income in Canada or America. And so, and the cost is,
it can feel prohibitive, and it doesn't.
I was talking with some friends, and their monthly income that's a good income is $300 a month, US dollars a month. And that's a good income that they have, that they can take care of themselves. Well, a course that costs even $50 a month is a huge expense then,
Right.
That's so, I don't want that to be a barrier to training in that sense. So, so take a look at it. If you have questions, let us know, but I think it'll be super helpful. And this is the first time we've been able to run this course in a while, and I've been wanting to run it for a while. So Rita asks, will the course be online? Yes. So it'll be on Zoom. So it'll be a private Zoom room. So, any of the prophetic stuff that happens, no one else will be able to see it except for those that are registered. So it won't be public. So if you go to the Wind Training Academy, the link that's in there, maybe I'll just put that in one more time. You can register for the course. You'll create an account, register for the course. In the course listing in your account, once you've registered, you'll see all the Zoom links that are in there. And then as we go through that, those Zoom links will be replaced with links to the video. So we generally use a YouTube for the videos, but we make the YouTube videos. They're only available to the people that took the course. So anyway, it's the system is all there. Took us a while to work on that system and get it in there, but it's all there, and it's so far it's worked pretty well. So, and we're still doing the Coffee with Ken's Wednesday morning. So my dad's been doing that, taking people through a deeper understanding of how Scripture connects with our life and how we think through those things, what Jesus means to us, and that time of connecting, fellowship, prayer for one another, engaging with questions. Those are Wednesday mornings, and the time doesn't overlap. It happens later than that. So you can still do the coffee Wednesday morning, and then sign up for the Engaging Revelation Prophetic Mentorship. So so you can
and you might need coffee.
You might need, that's right. You might need coffee. So I know the Coffee with Ken thing has been going really well. We've got good feedback, and so you can sign up for that as well. And maybe I'll just throw a link up to Coffee with Ken. The easiest way to run that is to have you it's a free registration link, but then you will get access to the Zoom link every week. So Coffee with Ken is there. So Sarah says she loves Coffee with Ken. I love Coffee with Ken too, both the show and practically. So what is this, Pops?
Well, there was I think it was Deborah Hurley said he gave during her levels of her times of healing, the Lord gave her Zephaniah 3:17 during her healing process. And I just want to share that with Sean. Sean, that's a great prayer over the women that you're working with, the girls that you're working with.
That's true. Very true.
Just if you can just say that. Zephaniah 3:17, what an awesome thing. The Lord your God is in your midst, a warrior who gives victory. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will renew you in his love. He will exult over you with loud singing. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
That's true. That is true. Very good, Dad.
Oops.
We have time for one more.
Let's get back to we had a short one there.
It was Karen's, I think, wasn't it? You were going to bring up?
Yes, it was Karen's. Let me get back up there. Do you have it? Do I need to get back?
No. You'll have to get it back up there.
All right, I'm up here.
All right, Karen, your dream is docked up. Renee had to jump off, so bye, Renee. Great to see you again. Great to see everybody on. I love our little dream family here. Are you
I still look.
double yolk eggs?
Yes. Oh, there we go.
All right.
In my dream last night, I drank a double yolked raw egg. It was chewier than I thought, but once I broke the yolk, it tasted so good, so real and so good in my dream. A raw egg? A double yolked raw egg.
She said this is only part of my dream from last night.
Oh.
Okay. Well, all right. We don't do partial dreams here.
No, we don't.
Okay.
No.
Because as you saw, just even with Sean's question, some additional information changes dramatically how you see the context of the one thing. So can you post the rest of your dream, Karen? Is it short enough, or did you have one of those Christian dreams that are so epically long that we don't know what to do with them? So can you post the rest of it? The rest is on the dream group page. That's right. She did post that up there. If you pull it in, and I think it was a bit longer, but not too bad. Gaston drinks raw eggs. Are you talking about from Beauty and the Beast, Sarah? That was kind of a thing. I don't think people do that anymore, but that was kind of a thing, wasn't it? Like the protein or something? People would drink a raw egg for breakfast, or yeah, she's referencing Beauty and the Beast. So
okay,
Gaston isn't exactly
what's sad is that you knew that.
Well, Gaston isn't exactly I have kids, you know. Gaston isn't exactly a good person, Sarah, in there. So what are you saying about Karen here? Yes. Are you pulling up the rest of it, Dan? Trying to get it?
I'm working on it.
All right, we're working on it. One more dream. My dad's working on it, Karen. Don't worry. So we'll get there. You guys just keep yourself entertained. I ate a raw egg in a dream once too. I'm excited to hear what you say about it. Yeah, maybe, Annette. Depends on what I say about it. It might be terrible, you know. Salmon means that you're going to be poisoned with evilness, salmonella. Yeah, no. So let's get this up. We're almost there. My dad almost has it. Almost there. What's that from? So let's see. All right. You got it? There we go. All right.
So she's dreamed the dream, which is good. The teacher, flashlight, and egg. In my dream, I'm with a group of people, and a man gets up and says, "I'll show you how this works." I heard him say the name of the item he was demonstrating on the whiteboard, but I don't remember if the name now that I'm awake. It looked similar to a small group of sticks bunched together with a string around the bottom, almost like a thin, small bouquet of sticks. After the demonstration, I'm sitting on the grass with this man facing him, but now I'm heading back with my now I'm leaning back with my back on the grass. I'm thinking in my head, I wonder if this looks too intimate for people looking at us. The man gets up and said, "I'll show you to your car." I sit up and hand him a flashlight and another item that I can't remember what it is. The man looks at me funny as I hand him the flashlight. I tell him I can't carry them because my hands will be full with pillows. The two ladies sit down beside me and say, "Let's have a drink." The one lady cracks an egg into her glass and drinks it. I go to crack my egg. I know sometimes dreams are weird, right? And it falls into my lap. I scoop it up with my hand and noticed it's double yolked. I think, wow, that's a lot of egg to eat. So I put it in my mouth. It was a bit more chewier than I thought it would be. But as soon as I bit into the yolk, I could taste it. It tasted amazing. The yolk had such a real taste in my mouth that I thought I was actually eating it.
Okay. Where did you wake up with anything in your mouth? Like the pillow or something?
So who's the man? So let's ask real quick to you, Josh. Who's the man in the dream?
The man, go back up so I can see it again. The man who is demonstrating, I'll show you how this works. He said the name of the item he was demonstrating. She doesn't remember what it is. And So showing Karen, the man's probably an angel or Jesus.
Right.
Right. Something
because
like that.
because she's concerned whether she's being too intimate in her expressions. And this is an interesting thing.
Yes.
Or if it'll be seen to be too intimate.
Yeah. How are people going to perceive my relationship with this man? Yeah.
She hands him a flashlight and because she won't be able to, she's going to have her hands full of pillows, so she won't be able to carry a flashlight.
Right.
And then there's two other ladies who come in. Let's have a drink. They're drinking raw eggs. What would raw eggs be in this context, Josh?
Well, I mean, the raw eggs are just what Sarah said there. Double, like, nutrients. You would take, people would take raw egg in an effort to, it's like a fitness thing, right? To get more fit, to bulk up. One person said, I think someone said it was to bulk up. Someone did in there, but that's what, you would take it for the health of it. And so the double yolk, of course, is a surprising amount of additional nutrients, additional health.
Things are doubled.
So, yeah, things are doubled. Yeah,
she loses it into her lap, but's able to get it back
with her hand.
Yeah, with her hand.
Yeah,
which is pretty amazing if it's a yolk of an egg. But
yeah. So I'm going to show you how things work, how this works, right? I'm going to demonstrate that. This is the entire context of the dream.
Right.
I'm going to demonstrate to you how things work. Then the very next thing we know is that, so think about this, okay? Like my dad separated into 3 different things. I'm going to demonstrate to you how this works. Okay, that's the context for the whole dream. Right. I'm teaching you something, is what he's saying. I'm going to teach you something. The next movement of the dream is, what are people going to think about this relationship? Right. That's the very next thing. I'm sitting in there, leaning my head on his shoulder. Right. Is that what she says? Sitting on the grass, facing him. Oh yeah. But I'm leaning with
she's leaning on the back with her. She's laying back on the grass.
Right. Does this look too intimate? What are people going to think of my relationship with this man? Right. How is it present to others? And how are they going to judge me for this? They're going to be weirded out by this. Right. So I'm going to teach you something about yourself. There's an insecurity about how I'm perceived in light of my relationship to Jesus by others. I'm going to teach you about this. Right. So then, she doesn't get up, but it's just saying there's a thought, right? Yeah, she doesn't get up from there. Well, she sits up, but she's still with them. And she hands him a flashlight and something else. I love that he looks at her funny when she hands her the flashlight. The flashlight illuminates things. And so there's an exchange there. And then the 2 ladies, probably heavenly help, these 2 ladies who, let's have a drink, right? So now, what I love is that now, in the context of drinking the egg with these 2 ladies, she's no longer concerned about what people are thinking. Right. So in the context of spiritual health and growth, she's no longer concerned with some of the thoughts, some of the insecurities and the anxieties. So think about it, right? I'm going to teach you something, right? Okay. The insecurities and the anxieties that you feel, they fade away in the context of receiving spiritual nutrition. No longer am I insecure when I'm receiving spiritual nutrition. And in fact, when I'm in that place of obedience, it increases incredibly. There's even more of it than I realized.
And it really tastes good.
And it really tastes good. And in order to eat it, I've got to use my hand, which is also how I do relationship, with my hand. So it requires relationship for spiritual nutrition. And in the context of growing in relationship, in the context of growing in spiritual maturity, all the insecurities and anxieties fade away, right? So I'm going to teach you something about yourself in the context of relating to me. So I hope that makes sense, Karen. And do you have anything to add, Dad?
No, I think that's good.
Yeah. And yeah.
All right. Well, we need to bring this to a close.
Yes, we do.
We are back. It's been great. It's been a month. It's been a month and a week, but it's been great.
Yeah. We have so many things on the go right now. I mean, it's ridiculous. We launched our new podcast. For those of you that have been tuning in, Voices from the Desert. You can find it on any of your podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google, all those things. Many as I could find that you can list it on. Voices from the Desert with our dear friend Murray Dewick, and it's been phenomenal. People are loving it. We've been getting great feedback. So take a listen to that. We're on our 3rd episode, and we've got a whole bunch planned out right now.
Oh, and don't forget HeartSync starting up this year sessions.
We've got HeartSync sessions starting up very quickly here, and sign up for our email list. You can just go to winministries.ca to sign up for that. It's at the bottom. Sign up for the email list so you'll get notifications when that goes live. This is going to be going live within the next month or so. We've got a Wind Ministries podcast that we launched, which we'll have right now. We're doing there's 12 sessions on what does healing look like, and healing of our identities. So Annette, man, we don't even have time to go through all these things. Annette, what's HeartSync?
It's the heart being knit back together by Jesus through
it's a healing process. And so we're going to be launching
really resolves trauma in significantly. That's at core levels of our heart.
So we've been dabbling in inner healing as a component of Wind, with spiritual formation. Some of the events that we've done, we did Healing the Wounded Heart back in the summer of last year, August of last year. We've done stuff like that. So we're launching a full component where you can sign up for inner healing sessions. You can meet with someone will walk you through what it looks like to reintegrate the heart with Jesus, to come to a place of it's not like the healing room so much as it is more so one-on-one sessions with a person who's sitting with you and helping you work through things. So anyway, not counseling in that sense, but a modality of healing that helps the heart reconnect with Jesus on a deep level and helps us become all we're created to be. So that we'll be launching all that and announcing how that looks here very shortly. So we've got the prophetic mentorship coming up. We've got Coffee with Ken going on. So we've just keep it's a whirlwind ride. So keep it tuned with our social media. You'll see, we'll announce those things, sign up for the email list. And I just got back from a major international trip where tons of doors were opening up, and lots of intense, deep ministry. I saw one person manifest a demon in a prophetic exercise, and so we went for, it was just crazy stuff. It's awesome. I love what the Lord's doing, and it's a wild ride right now. So keep tuning in. We love being with you guys, and we'll let you know as everything comes out. So at the same time, we've got all the same stuff, blog posts coming out. We're talking about the gift of prophecy, and all that. So yeah, we appreciate your prayers.
May the Lord bless you and keep you all. May you dream like crazy, and may your dreams be healing and encouraging in every way. And we just bless you.
That's right. Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you all again.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and we will see you again. So blessing.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.